So for the geometric solids, what you're going to want to do is also, once again, shade with the contours. So the light side is going to be very light, so I'm not going to go over it too many times, but I would use directions that I have here on the form. And then on the mid-tone, or the slightly darker side, I'm going to go ahead and go a few different directions. I can also just layer it more, so I could use more of that light layering rather than heavy pressure. And see, like, I can go back over it vertical again. You just have to be real conscious that it doesn't look like texture, but it's recording value. Unlike I did just right there where it went over a little bit too many times. And then here I can go maybe over it and be a little bit more close to make it get darker. Okay. On the cylinder, I can shade with the contours if I want to. So here I'm going to show you the example of hatching, where I'm bending it and using cross contour to make it look 3D. It's a little bit trickier, but it does really help make those things look rounded. So a lot of you on your animals are probably going to want to do things like this, where it's going to help make it look a little bit more 3D. And then I can cross shade it going up and down in the shadow. Use less layering. But I can also use maybe a diagonal line in the core of the shadow to let it get really, really dark. There's no need for us to do the stipple again because we've already practiced. Also, I think for ballpoint pen, it's probably not worth our time. But keep in mind that you guys have a lot of animals and things that have scales on it. So if you wanted to, you could try to see if you could come up with a scale for a texture that you're going to need. So like, are you going to need to use little rounding marks for scales? Are you going to have to use little short lines for fur? And you can go in here and see how that's going to look if it was like in a light area, or if it was like in a darker area where you're going to have to put more of them to create shadow. So that's where I would like you to experiment with that. Thank you for being patient with all these interruptions on the video. Take your time, do a good job. If you want any more experimentation, you can look at the back and try to create some of these examples where you're using more than one style together. And I hope this helps.